Mario Kart 64, a nostalgia-filled game in an incredible series. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. This time we'll be creating a tier list of all of the Mario Kart 64 courses, and I just want to get this out of the way. This is just based off of my own experiences, most of which happen to be videos on my channel. So if you want to see me struggle, check those out. And if you have checked them out, you're going to know that these rankings are going to be very weird. So if you are looking to get angered by a wrong opinion, you have come to the right place. And let's get started. First up is Luigi Raceway. So this course is pretty standard. There's nothing wrong about it, but there's nothing going for it. It's a good first track for the game. However, it's not something I am dying to play when I turn on Mario Kart 64. So I am going to be putting it in the C category. Next up is Moo Moo Farm. So this is a tough one for me because I really like the Wii version, but I'm not ranking the Wii version, I'm ranking the N64 version. For me, this is a solid course, but just not one of my favorites. And for that, I'm going to be placing it in B tier, just because I think there are some better courses in the game, and given kind of how you play Mario Kart 64, kind of just how the controls are and how it drives, I think they really improved it for the Wii version, and it's the Wii version that I like. Next up is Koopa Troopa Beach. So this is a weird one, as for me, there's nothing overly positive or negative about this course for me. Every time it kind of comes up, I like playing it. However, once again, it's not one that I really want to play all the time. However, I do think it beats Luigi's Raceway, so I'm going to put it in B tier. Next up is Kalimari Desert. For me, I think this course is very simplistic. It's very kind of easy to race in. Getting a mushroom is very nice because you can skip a whole bunch of stuff. The train is an interesting aspect. However, once again, given the rest of the courses, this one just isn't my favorite. And for that, I'm going to be placing it in C tier. Alright, now we've got Toad's Turnpike. I personally just absolutely struggle with this course in the sense that the cars run a train on me every time I play. For me, this is the most difficult course in this game. However, there's just something that draws me to it. There's just the challenge of it is super fun. And for that, I am going to be putting Toad's Turnpike in A. Next up is Frappe Snowland. So when it comes to snow levels, I'm always iffy on them. With this one, there's some kind of cool moments in the track with the snowman. There's not a lot going on, however. And at the end of the day, I think I'm going to place this in C tier. Moving on to Choco Mountain. So I think this might be the first one that gets people very upset, or at the very least disagrees with me heavily on. There's just something that always draws me into this course. I remember playing this as a kid. It was my favorite as a kid. I might have just been addicted to chocolate, but there's just something unique about this course that I just can't put my finger on. However, I do know that it isn't the best course among here, so I'm going to be placing it in A tier. Next up is Mario Raceway. For me, there's not a lot going on in this course, and yet I always struggle to win this course. I can't do it for whatever reason. The turns are tough for me. For a simplistic course, it's challenging enough for me to place it a little higher than Luigi's Raceway, so I'm going to place it in B tier. Next up is Wario Stadium. This is a solid course. I love essentially just the twists and turns. I love the one section of the map where you can just knock someone off and they have to essentially repeat a whole chunk of the course. This is a really brutal course where you have to know how to turn. And for that, I'm placing it in S tier. Next up is Sherbet Land. So once again, we have an ice course. However, this one I think does a lot better of a job. The ice is a lot more challenging. The turning's tough on the ice. I think it's just a better designed course. And for that, I am actually placing it in A tier. Next up, we have Royal Raceway. This is a course that, for whatever reason, I struggle on the most simplistic aspects of it. I always fall down, essentially, the turns into the lakes. I always just, for whatever reason, just miss the jump and have to go back onto the course. And I actually, despite all of the hard troubles, despite all of kind of my struggles with this course, there's just something about it that I love. It's really cool to see the opening of Mario Kart 64 be from this course. And for me, this might be the nostalgia talking, but I'm going to place it in S tier. Next up, we have Bowser's Castle. This is another one that I just remember from my childhood. For me, everything about this course I love. I love the thwomps just actively targeting you. I love the room where you gotta dodge them as they're sliding across the room. This course feels like a castle. For a Bowser course, it is wonderful, one of Bowser's best courses. And for that, I am going to place it in S tier. Moving on to DK's Jungle Parkway. So this is a really cool one in the sense that I love that over the lift, it's like an immediate right turn. This course, however, just isn't one of my favorites. There's just others that I like more. The bridge is kind of cool, and the ending where you can kind of skip parts of it if you have mushrooms is kind of cool. But there's nothing overly unique or overly kind of drawing me in when I play Mario Kart 64. And for that, I am placing it in B tier. Alrighty, so I'm going to immediately just say I have a bias here. For Yoshi's Valley, I love Yoshi. I do like the concept of this. It's cool to have kind of all different paths going in and out from each other. One thing I will say is I think some of the paths are just a little too brutal. And I think the very kind of short paths, I don't think are actually challenging enough. Because kind of in my mind, I think the short path should be the more challenging path, and the long path should be kind of simpler, so that there's kind of a little bit of a fairness and kind of a little bit of kind of a rubber banding that occurs. So that if you want to be risky, you could absolutely kind of get rewarded for that or punished. Having said that, I am going to place it in A tier because I do like the uniqueness of it. Next up is Banshee Boardwalk. For this one, I remember as a kid and I loved it. However, now I'm not feeling it quite as much. For me, there's a lot going on and nothing going on at the same time, if that makes sense. I would describe the obstacles in this course not as creative, but as annoying instead. And every time this board comes up, I kind of not moan, gosh, doesn't make me feel that way, but it makes me kind of groan in the sense that it's probably my least favorite course in the game. And for that reason, I'm going to be placing it in the D category. And finally, we have Rainbow Road. This long course. This is a very fun course, Rainbow Road. It's one we all know. It's one that most of us probably love. For me, this has a lot of nostalgia in the course. And playing it, I absolutely love it. I love the chain chomps going by. I think that's a fun obstacle. I love the fireworks going off with the different characters. What I'm going to do, though, is, controversially, I'm going to bump it down a rank in the sense that I think this is just nostalgia talking. And from just a more logical viewpoint, I think this course is just a tad too long. And for that reason, I'm going to be placing it in A tier. And there we have it. Here is the tier list with all of the Mario Kart 64 courses on it. As you can see, the game actually does quite a good job with the courses they made. There's really only one that I don't quite like. The others, at worst, are fine, and there's just so many that I love. So, with that being said, what is your favorite Mario Kart 64 course? Please let me know in the comments. And if you like this video and would like to see other videos like this in the future, please hit that like and subscribe button. I truly appreciate it. It helps me figure out what you guys like and what I can do to improve on. And with that being said, if you like this video, check out this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.